We're back at it again, picking games for you against the spread. Thank you for watching. This guy's going to have all the picks for you online, but let's go through the big 5 games on video. I don't know if this is a big game. That guy that we just saw, Dak Prescott, not playing very big. For some reason, the Cowboys are -3 favorites, although 56% of the public with the Lions. Who are you with?
I'm with the Lions as well, and normally this year, home teams favored by 3 or less have done fairly well against the spread, but I'm not buying it here. The Cowboys went back to the offensive struggles last week against Seattle in a big way, and the Lions have been hot. Matthew Stafford has been on a roll the last 2 games, 5 touchdowns, 600 yards, completing 70% of his passes. I think the Lions can win outright here, no problem.
You mentioned they went back to their offensive struggles. The Cowboys went back to the ice ages with where their offense is right now. In the last 11 games, they've only had a passer, Dak Prescott, to pass for over 200 yards. Not tough. 9 times he wasn't able to do that. It is so bad offensively. And the Lions actually showing some signs that they could at least run the ball and help Matt Stafford out. Finally had a 100-yard rusher for the first time since Thanksgiving in 2013. These are 2 bad teams, but at least this one is trending in the right direction. I'm with you. I'm going to take the Lions. A matchup of 2 QBs who could play out of their mind or play terrible and make you want to tear your hair out. -8 is the spread for the Jags at home. Who do you got?
After last week's display from the Jags where they could muster nothing on offense, and a week before they were dynamite on offense against the Patriots, I have to go with the Jets here, a spread of 8. I don't know how many points we're going to see in this game, but defensively it's going to be a battle. Todd Bowles is taking over some of the play calling on defense for the Jets now, so I think we could see another low-scoring game. I'm not going to say 9-6, but somewhere in that neighborhood.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. We just saw this team really hold an offense to 9 points and lose a football game. So the question is, can you pick the Jags at -8? Can they score 8 points? I'm going to say yes. Listen, I know Blake Bortles, as soon as you believe, Bortles service goes wrong, but I'm going to go with the Jags. I just think it's going to be a bounce-back game for them at home. This is probably going to be the only time I say this year. Although this year has been crazy, so who knows? The Pats are not who the public is going with. 57% of the public going for the Dolphins, even though the Pats are 7-point favorites at home. Where are you putting your money?
I'm leaning with the Dolphins as well. These aren't the Patriots that we're used to seeing, and yes, we've seen panic in September when it comes to the Patriots, only to see them go on and win the Super Bowl. And I wouldn't be really surprised if that happened again, given that Josh Gordon's coming into the mix, Julian Edelman's coming back, but that's not this week. This week, the Patriots are favored by 7 at home, and I like the Dolphins, who are playing better on defense. They've got some playmakers on offense that pulled off some pretty impressive plays last week in a comeback win against the Raiders, and I think they keep it close. The Dolphins haven't won in New England since 2008, so I'm not saying an outright win, but I like a close division battle here.
Everything is telling me pick the Dolphins. With Tannehill as their quarterback, they've won 10 of the last 12. They've been so good, but I just can't go against the Patriots. If they lose this game, they might lose the division. There's no way I think Bill Belichick loses to the Dolphins in his own building. I'm reluctantly going to pick the Pats. Now, I know we're giving you picks against the spread, but forget about your picks or your fantasy team or your daily fantasy. Just as a football fan, this is the game to watch, is it not? I mean, Chiefs undefeated going to Denver in division. Von Miller chasing around Patrick Mahomes, who we saw can throw on the run as well as he can in the pocket. 70% of the public with the Chiefs, who are -5 favorites. Who do you like?
I like the Chiefs -5. They've been so dynamic on offense the last 3 weeks. They have so many different weapons. They can score in so many different ways. And in the first quarter, they've been on fire. They've outscored opponents 49-6. And I just don't see how the Broncos are going to keep up with that kind of explosion on offense.
Yeah, even if you're saying to yourself, okay, this Mahomes show has to end, he and that offense have to come back to earth, back to earth for them is still really good. What, he's going to throw 3 TDs again this week instead of 5 like he did to start this season? He's got 13 in the first 3 games. It's the most ever. -5 for me is easy because they could easily score 40 or 45. I don't think Denver can hang with them offensively. That's why I like the Chiefs as well. Every week, it seems anyways, we have a game that is all about the injury report. Not about where the game is or whose points are laying where. The Falcons are at home and they are 5.5-point favorites, but they lost the safety in Ricardo Allen for the year. And with the Bengals offensively, AJ Green questionable, Mixon we know is going to be out at least another week. Given the uncertainty with the health, who you got?
For me, this is all about whether AJ Green actually suits up on Sunday. If he's there, I like the Bengals to be able to put up a lot of yards and a lot of points against the Falcons, who, despite being at home the last couple weeks, have given up big chunks of yardage. If he's out, the game changes completely, and the Bengals are much different on offense without their top rusher too, like you mentioned. So I think the Falcons will score at will. If AJ Green is in, I think they keep it within a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Falcons, for me, at this point are a bit safer bet because they've got better depth. Calvin Ridley is looking like he could be a 1 receiver for a lot of teams and not just a 3. They've been able to get by without Freeman because Coleman is running the ball well. And even if AJ Green plays, if he's hampered at all or doesn't finish the game, their offense is finished. So I think the safe money is with Atlanta, even though 5.5 is a lot of points.
Most definitely.
All right, yes, I know. We lost in our Survivor picks last week, but for being honest, so did you. So we're going to give you some buyback options, and I like the Chargers because the Niners' offensive backfield hasn't survived this far. Garoppolo done for the year. McKinnon has been done for the year. So pick the Chargers and pick against the Niners moving forward. But who do you like? I think your lock and your Survivor.
Yeah, I locked the Chiefs against the spread, and I'm going to take them here in Survivor because the offense, it looks unstoppable, and I don't really know what the Broncos are going to do to stop it. And I got to go with them despite them being on the road.
Smart pick.